Lights out and let's go racing, folks, and it's a very even start from the entire field.
There's a freight train forming behind him right now. He will be as nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. I can give you the hot tip. Sideways as a bishop on a chessboard. That was incredible car control.
Going for a bit of an ambitious dive now, and oh, there's contact! Here they come now, around the final turn on the final lap. They're side by side.
Oh, there's contact there. Someone is going to be hitting the showers early tonight, I'll tell you what.
Crosses the line for P1. Brilliant racing, absolutely sensational stuff.
This is heart-pounding. This is nerves-rising. This is sensational TV. Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Road America. And this is the last that you will probably see it for the next hour and 10 minutes. It is going to be very dark out here tonight. We're racing into the night here at the Aussie Sim Racing GT3 Challenge. 4 miles, or 6 and a bit kilometres of high-speed Wisconsin wilderness, now with limited visibility ahead and maximum guesswork. These guys will charge into turn 1, brake for turn 5 approximately, and attempt the run through the carousel, which at night feels less like a corner and more like a leap of faith. Then comes the kink, flat out in daylight, and well at night, it could be anyone's guess, and we'll let you know if anyone makes it. The headlights are ablaze, the brake rotors are glowing, and the commentators are squinting at our monitors, saying, "Oh, I'm pretty sure that's a pass, or maybe it's just a glare." I don't know. But one missed braking marker, I'll tell you, and you are not just off the track, you're exploring Wisconsin's forestry program. This isn't just racing, it's high speed, hide and seek at 280 k's an hour. So dim the lights at home, help us see a little bit better here, and settle in for a night of controlled chaos. This is Aussie Sim Racing GT3 Challenge live from Road America, live on your home of motorsport sim racing style, Sensational TV. Yes, good evening, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, animals of all ages out there in the world, wherever you are watching from. Here we are here live from Road America, and boy oh boy am I excited tonight, and even more excited than the man next to me who seems to just disappear and then reappear for 3 sessions in a row. The man we call the magnificent Lindsay Muddle is next to me in the commentary box. Good evening, Lindsay. Welcome. And what are we heading for here tonight?
Yeah, well, first off, good evening, Zach. As you said, 3rd night in a row. I disappear for a couple of weeks, and then, yeah, 3 back-to-back-to-backs here in the last 3 days. So definitely getting the vocal cords warmed up ahead of, well, I guess I'm only 2 weeks away from my first real-life commentary, but enough about that. Tonight, we're looking at, well, quite an interesting race. As you said, Zach, we're heading into the night time, and when it gets into that sort of dark area of a racetrack or around a full 60-minute race like we have here tonight, it is going to be quite the challenge. Everything moves faster when it's at nighttime because all you can see is what your headlights and the headlights of the peers around you are lighting up. So everything just feels like it's coming past you so much faster, and the trees around the track will make it feel even faster again. It's going to feel like a tiny little tunnel here in the nighttime, and any sort of mistake that a driver might make in front of you, you might not see it unless their brake lights are illuminated. So it's really easy to just run into the back of someone and make some very just simple errors. But in the nighttime, that can turn into a huge crash.
It can indeed, mate, and hopefully that's not the case for all of us here in the commentary box and the races out there on circuit. This is the format for tonight. 20 minutes of qualifying, which we are starting into right now. The boys are getting their times down, and then, as Lindsay said, a 60-minute flat-out race with 80% fuel on the cards, so they will be fuel limited to an extent. Will it be a car battle? Who uses the least fuel? Who's got the most ruined fuel economy in the percentage department? We'll find out. One fast repair for these boys as well, and then 17x incidents. You're copping a drive-through for your actions, so keep it clean out there tonight, boys. But it is heating up. This is the penultimate round of the championship, by the way, Lindsay, and it's very, very tight, I can tell you, in this mid-pack, and we'll see how quickly they can go. But the man leading the championship at the moment, Dan Smith, as we can see him right now on the screen, generally is a guy who has got the most pace around every track, but he's had a bit of trouble in practice watching his times. He wasn't the quickest. He was about 4th or 5th best. So it's going to be interesting to see what we can do if Lindsay's still around.
Yeah, no, sorry, I didn't realise you were. I thought you still had a bit more of your sentence to go there, Zacko. Yeah. All right, Zach. Anyway, yeah, we're 7 minutes 40 into this session, and it'll be interesting to see if anybody can beat the man himself. But I have noticed some names again, Zach. They've popped up again, and they've lit up my eyes. Because Ryan Hunter's here again, and as we saw in the supercars, he's got some pace about him, and I think he's about the same sort of I rating as we were looking at with the other boyo as well. So, and then Ty Saville, he's quick in a sports car. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. Some names that I don't know if they've been on this GT3 grid before, but as we know from the Sunday and the Gen 3s, they're pretty quick. They don't mess around, and yeah, that just adds some sort of extra elements into this one.
It does, and you got the very, very quick drivers all around the field, and you can see there already on this qualifying board on the top left-hand side of your screen, Kobe Marshall is leading the way so far, and he's got 4/10 of a second over Jake the Better, and then Ortner as well, 6/10 between him and third place. But that's just changed and flipped on its head, because the man we just spoke about, Ryan Hunter, has slotted himself into third place. Jeffrey Price there as well, who had a monumental smash there in practice with Jake the Better, has slotted himself into third place too, so he'll be absolutely stoked at the moment. This guy is hitting some form as of late, so watch out for that C8 Corvette going around. Moneybags Payrax just entered the chat too for his lap, and he has done a 2:02.49. That is a quick time from him, only half a tenth away from Jeffrey's better number. And then, speaking of that better name, Jake the Better in 6th place already. So it's tightening up here, Lindsay. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah, this really is going to be a good one, and there's some more purple sectors as well. Josh Bennett got the fastest first sector, as you can see at the bottom of your screen, ladies and gentlemen. So he's doing all right for himself, but it's been orange sectors from there, basically, so not ideal when you're trying to put together a lap and you do such a good first sector, and the rest of it just doesn't come to volition as Cairns goes up into 12th position. Kobe Marshall looking at improving again here, potentially, Zach. He's got 2 green sectors and an orange, but that one orange isn't going to ruin your night, and Matt Munro as well, all green at the moment.
Yeah, good to see Matt Munro back in it here as well. It wasn't showing up in the practice session, but he's on the track, and he's giving Kobe Marshall a good old hurry up here too. He's keeping him honest here, so this is good. But in goes Ryan J. Ferber, bang to the top of the table with a 2:01.891. The first man in the 2:01s, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 2:02 dead at best, and this guy's just started to plough his way into it, and hopefully that is a very, very quick time for anyone else to try and catch. Has he got the edge over these boyos? We will find out in the next 9 minutes and change here in this qualifying session. Good stuff from him. Let's go back down the field and see where the timing towers are lighting up. You can see Matt Munro's got a couple of greenies there, but he's not doing the best job in the second half of his qualifying session, but he pumps it up into 18th place. He's going to want to warm those tyres up a bit more if he can go in there. Ryan Hunter as well with green in there, and he's set a personal best again, a 2:02.1 from him. So it's still a good 3/10 away from what Ryan J. Ferber has done at the top, and the old arseholes come into Vortner. He's gone back to 5th because Cicciolina has entered the chat, ladies and gentlemen. The man we all love, he's a sensational TV favourite, the old Cicciolina. I'm telling you now, here's Sutzar and his way into this one, Lindsay Buddle, and he's already been belted by Moneybags Payrack. Goodness gracious me, it's all heating up here with 8 and a bit minutes to go.
Yeah, it is heating up, Zach, and still a significant amount of time left in this qualifying session. So all of these drivers will just be finding more improvements, and I think at some point we'll see these drivers return to the pit lane, get a fresh set of boots, and then go again in the final stage of this qualifying session. They've just got to make sure they have enough laps to warm up the tyres, because these GT3 cars, I'll tell you what, they are absolutely terrifying to drive on cold tyres, and they're also really slow for the first 2 or 3 laps. So it's just about getting the tyres into the window. But yeah, Ferber still up the top at the moment, and Kobe Marshall not improving on his current lap time as, well, there was a car off. I think it might have been that slow Mustang, whoever that may be out there on the race circuit. Matt Munro popping in green sectors. Ferber as well could potentially be up as he's crossed the line, and actually he has improved to a 2:01.766. So that is an improvement over provisional pole position. He has almost 3/10 over Kobe Marshall at the moment with 8 minutes to go.
He does indeed, and where is our championship leader? Right here, Dan Smith. He's struggling here big time. Just cannot get this Corvette turned on here at the moment. Still 23rd overall. That was a disastrous lap for him. He's got a lot of work to do. He's dead set last in the fair dinkum department here at the moment on the circuit. Leading the championship here, but just not putting down any qualifying times. Maybe he's put on the race fuel just to get some simulation laps in instead and just start from the back and claw his way through the field. Matt Munro's just bumped himself up into 12th place as well, but then David Chambers has come through. The old effing Chambers has come in with the Castrol livery Porsche and said, thank you, Matt, I'll take that P12 straight back off you, and he's done it by a good 2/10 of a second as well. And he's got a little bit of time that he can make up, and he could possibly jump himself up into 10th place there, Bradley Cairns, if he can find 3:10. Sam Doritas has also just slotted himself into the top 15, 13th place for him so far. Kyle Douglas has done his personal best in the 16th there as well, but no one's catching Ryan J. Ferber at the front there at the moment. It's looking pretty racy for the big man. What's Hunter doing here? His times looked okay. He's got a green, 1, 2, 3, then nothing, and then a green as well. So this guy also looks like he could be on the improvement here. He's so quick when the best times come through. It's just incredible to watch him. He knows exactly what he's doing at the best of time. As Lindsay said, a quick customer out here. Got to find a 10th though to get past Kobe Marshall. Liam Wells, welcome to the channel here, and thank you for your subscription too. We've got 7 minutes left to go here, Lindsay, and these boys are heating up. Oh, I don't know. Can anyone catch Ryan J. Ferber?
Yeah, that is the magic question here, Zach O'Reilly, and there's still a while to go, but there's some drivers on outlaps as well. So here come the fresh tyres in this qualifying session. This will be the point in time, once they're warmed up, that we'll see the time start to fly in and get closer to Ferber, which I think will happen basically right at the end of qualifying, as you would expect, as Dan Smith actually is racked in a purple sector, but the rest of his lap is pretty much orange. But as he's heading through this little section of racetrack up towards the line, will it be an improvement? It will be an improvement to a 2:02.7 and no, 2:01.8. The timing at the bottom was lying. There he goes, Zach O'Reilly, up into the top two, only 900ths off of Ferber as he spins off into the gravel. But that is game on, as Ryan Hunter as well has all greens and a purple as he's heading towards the line. So what's he going to do in the BMW? Could he put himself onto the top spot as he crosses the line here? Ryan Hunter, and he does go to the top with a 2:01.626, a 10th and a half clear of Ferber.
Bloody unbelievable too. Ryan's currently here in P1 and 2. The Hunter and the Furby right there next to each other. Beautiful driving from them. Thought Dan Smith's time was good. Ferber came through and went, yep, that's all right. Then Hunter just went bang and pipped them all. Fantastic from him. He's going back to the pits now to reset because he's got 5 minutes to go. He's probably got a little bit of time left. What can this man do? Kobe Marshall, he started this session like on fire. Absolutely dead set, wringing the neck off this Ferrari, and he hasn't been able to set a better time to get himself back up into P3 or 2 here at the moment. So interesting times here for the Marshall household. David, we'll get to you in the chat if you're out there, but it's looking pretty good here. He's up the pointy end, is Kobe, and he usually gets himself unfortunately caught in some of those mishaps in the racing. Let's hopefully the VR sticks together tonight. David Marshall doesn't have to walk the dog until Kobe's finished, and he can go out and relax back on the couch and rewatch the stream with happiness instead of anger. He's about to cross the line here now for his starter of a flyer with 4 minutes to go in this session. It's close to the top, 1/10 between Hunter and Ferber. Then it's only under a 10th between Ferber and Smith. And then it's still 2-3 tenths away. But Payrax and Cicciolina, holy cow, those two guys, they're not even in here. They've pitted. And they are separated by 0.003 of a second, Lindsay. This is good stuff in the mid-pack and up the front too.
Yeah, it's really close gaps all the way up and down the timing tower. I mean, just look at the timing tower. There's not more than 3/10 anywhere there. And in fact, there's only two or three times over 3/10 of the gap to the next car here in this qualifying session. So this is really, really close stuff. And as we head into the last little section, this is where the fast times will really start to show up. We've already seen some pacey laps from the top, but now improvements will start to barrel in, especially heading into the last 3 minutes. We're about to be at the 17-minute mark. Ferber about to pump in a lap, but it's not going to be a quick one. But Zach O'Reilly, I think Ferber might be going for a flyer.
He's going to go for a last lap flyer. Here is Ryan J. Ferber. So we'll see what he can do in the dying moments here. Had to cross to Payrax because he set a purple in the first sector, but then it's already been pipped already. So we've got cars flying out there at the moment. Jeffrey Price is in the pits. He's settled for 5th place at best so far. He hasn't got enough time to get those things warmed up. So we'll see what he can do. What can this man do, Jake the Better? I said to him he needs to change his livery to the old Better Electrical company there, Lindsay, long before your time, before you were alive. And he listened to me, and that is why we've got the old zebra print with the Better on the side, and how fitting for his last name as well.
Yeah, and there you go, Zach. Giving ideas. You give driving coaching as well at Zach Accelerated. Now you're giving livery advice as well. So you're a man of many talents here, Zach.
Suggestions of livery there, Lindsay. Suggestions only, my dear friend. That's all I am.
Yeah,
I'm only good for that.
Suggestions is talent. You need to have style. You need to have
Flair,
to have many talents. Yep.
Pizzazz, panache, all those words that you haven't learnt yet because you're still in school. All that sort of stuff there, Lindsay. All that stuff. Oh, I love this. Me and Lindsay, we love each other. We might be the old Bill Lawry, Tony Gregg style in the commentary box at times, but boy, oh boy, is the love flowing in one direction, actually, only coming from me to Lindsay. He doesn't send any back. But nonetheless, back to the racing and qualifying here, ladies and gentlemen. What can Ryan J. Ferber do? He set a green first sector, a green sector 3 out of 5. So he is flying here at the moment too. Can he get it done? No, he's at a poor sector 4. So he's not going to be able to. Dan Smith's lighting up the timing tower as well for his stanza here. He's going to start crossing the line now for his final fly, and what a time to do it. Hopefully he cannot be impeded through this whole wrap because he needs to get it on. And look at Dan Smith go. He actually does set a time there. Goodness me. And he's just been pipped as well by Ty Saville. Straight into the chat comes this man. Where has Jimmy's love child been? Goodness me, what an absolute time into this 201.7s. Fantastic from this big man up the pointy end. He's given Hunter something to think about now. Dan Smith's also got something to think about too, so because he's not going to have it as easy as he wants. Ferber's only 2.5 thousandths of a second away, well, 2.5 hundredths of a second away from Dan Smith. And then Kobe Marshall still hasn't found any time, and he's put it in the pits already, so he's done. What can Jeffrey Price do? I called him out and said he was done, but he's just circulating around the grid at some stage. Oh, he's at the back half of the circuit. He's got 40 seconds to go, less than, to get himself around to the time tower before it goes checkered flag. Will he get there for a final flying lap? I don't know. 30 seconds from here is a tall ask in a Formula 1 car, let alone a GT3. We'll see. But Saville is on a lap again. He is still trying to fly his way around. So is Dan Smith. So is Ferber. What can Garth Duffy do here in the Mr. Blendline TV? He was on the podium last round, Lindsay Muddle, and showed them all how to go racing in the wet conditions. This guy, once it goes dry, he's a bit more comfortable, but I reckon he's quicker in the wet.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe so, but I think that the livery recommendation service might need to come out again, Zach, because, I mean, it clearly needs a sensational livery on the car. In 14 days, or no, in about 11 days, I'll be saying the opposite. But that's more that I'll be on Blendline TV. In,
Two dogs, Lindsay Muddle over here, ladies and gentlemen. Good old two dogs.
You gotta play to your employer.
You do.
But anyway, yeah, as he's screeching around the track at the moment, not doing too badly. But yeah, Saville came out of nowhere there, Zach. I mean, I had my eye on him all session. I know he's also teammates with Ryan Hunter and Team OCE. Actually, Ryan's came into the chat and said classic Ty not repping the team. But yeah, no, so he came out of pretty much nowhere as Dan Smith. Oh, he's topped it. Smith has topped it. He came out of nowhere. What about Ty Saville? He moves up into second position here. I didn't realize they were at the end of the lap because they weren't on the bottom of the screen, but you've caught it, Zach, here as the broadcaster. As, yeah, Ty Saville not able to match him. Ryan Hunter, I don't think, on a lap. And Dan Smith has just taken the top at the very end.
He's gone bango with a 201.499, ladies and gentlemen. The first one into the lower halves of the 201s. Dan Smith style does it at the dying moments of the session. What a lap from him. Also, give credit to Saville too, because he also improved on his own best lap as well, but didn't top Dan Smith's time. Wowee, has that man just started to come to his grips again, finally here, Dan Smith tonight. Goodness gracious me, but what a session. Is Jeffrey Price going to get around for another go? No, he is not. Garth Duffy also on the old allegedly sensational TV livery here for Lindsay Munnell style. Is he going to come across the line and set a better time himself? He does. He actually jumps up into 9th place, just over the arsehole Brenton Orner, and he's come through into the 9th place. Thank you very much, says Garth Duffy. Bradley Cairns, however, still circulating around. He's done a few laps around here, but I don't know if he got to the timing tower in time. It seems like he's pressing on here as the final car on the circuit circulating around, if you don't mind. Let's see what Bradley Cairns can do if this is the case, because we've got to keep on him. It could be interesting. He's up to the back straightaway, or the straight kink, as they like to call it. He's got a right-hander to come into very, very shortly. Heavy braking zone here. Get the car settled in. Point it the other way and get it out the other side as quick as you can. Mid-corner is his friend there for the Lamborghini, and he's overdone it, overcooked it, dog dinner style, and that is his qualifying over and out. Boy, oh boy, what a session there, Lindsay. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was really close. I mean, look at the gaps. You got a 10th to pole, then 200ths back, or 300ths back, 10th and a half back, 2 tenths back, 2 tenths back, a 10th back, 3,000ths back, 100th back, 400ths back, 800ths back. The list goes on. That's so many close gaps here, Zach O'Reilly. That is absolutely monumental stuff from these boys.
We need to screenshot that or something, because that is a timing tower that literally just is liquid gold right there on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. The competition, you don't even need to ask. It's just telling you right there. It's the optic nerve should be reading that and going, holy mackerel, what are we going to be in for here come a race time, which is not too far away, mind you. It's just around the corner. And we'll go to the results there of qualifying. We'll go to the grid instead and have a look at that. It is dark as a dog's guts out there at the moment. Dan Smith, Saville, Hunter, Ferber, Marshall, Price round out the top 6. Then you got Mr. Moneybags Payrach there in the background. Then you got Christian, that is Christian Cicciolina, Duffy, Ortner, DeBetta, and Cairns round out that side of the grid. Then you've got Oliver Bennett, Chambers, Munro, Savdaridis, Merchant, Mead, Douglas, Sonia, the Erection Rogers, Luke Williams, and Brock Clark round out the grid. And then from there onwards, we've still got some people who didn't qualify. Parkinson, Justice Sykes, and the old Jandal in Tate Jendal is going to be here for this one, Lindsay. But I'm excited. That qualifying session is getting me revved up and ready for this one. We're just waiting on a few boys here to start their session and get in on the grid from the start. We'll see if we can find a good track camera angle. Let's. What do you reckon, Lindsay? Is that one good? Is this one good? No, that's shithouse, that one.
No, that's terrible. You're getting blocked by the bloody
What about
flag,
this one?
Man. I reckon the further away one.
That one's better. Right, we'll leave it
I reckon
there.
that one.
We're
But,
waiting.
Zach, as someone who's unfamiliar to this series as well, I've been jumping into a lot of new stuff over the last 3 days. Is this a standing start in a GT3 car?
It is, mate. This is exactly standing start style.
Holy mackerel.
You are.
Right.
Your eyes are not lying. And
So rolling start in the skippies and then standing starts in GT3s.
yes, that's exactly right, mate. I'm glad that you've.
Opposite day.
Yeah, exactly. Opposite day. It could be April Fool's to everyone watching at the moment, looking at their thing going, surely this is not happening. Oh boy, it's just changed on me. What has happened there? Goodness me, track camera. Let's go back to that one. It is not April Fool's Day, ladies and gentlemen. This is correct. This is Road at America. Here, I nearly said Atlanta. For the Aussie Sim Racing GT3 Challenge, round 8 of the championship out of 9. And this is unbelievable stuff. We've got a race start. Everyone has gridded, apart from David Chambers. We're waiting on him, but he's jumped to the pit. So this is up. We are ready. 60 minutes of action coming your way. We are go here at Road America. Beautiful start there from Dan Smith. He's got the jump. Ty Saville's had a bit of a mare there off the start because he's getting hounded here by Ryan Hunter. This is exciting racing here, ladies and gentlemen. Look at them just start to weave the tyres. Look at these headlights. This is as bright as it's going to get around this circuit at any given point because they're all right together. Hunter's going defensive there on Ryan J. Ferber, who's trying to go around the outside too. Out of turn 2 we go. This is a very, very lovely section of the track. You've got to downhill into this right-hander, out the other side, get the power down and fang it. Dan Smith, though, is 2/10 away from getting taken by Saville, and it's a sandwich here. Marshall's involved. This is good stuff. Ferber's there too. He's getting the suck there off Hunter. Hunter's trying to defend for his life. Look at Kobe Marshall pushing Ryan J. Ferber there as well. Incredible stuff from these three guys. Get through here cleanly 2x2 Noah's Ark style, for Christ's sake. They do. Out the other side goes Ryan Hunter. Kobe Marshall's gone for the inside run. Dan Smith's under attack here from Ty Saville, who's also coming at a rate of knots. That Mustang looking very, very racy indeed. Then you got a bit of toing and throwing in the background there as well as they all start to stream through. You can see these little guys coming through. Cicciolina in 9th place, lost one off the start. He's got to think about where he can put his car in the long run. 60 minutes of racing to go, and these boyos here are starting to think about how to do it and do it cleanly here. But this battle at the lead, Lindsay Buttle, is 100% on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, it's looking close. Saville is basically pushing Smith out of this long right-hander. Now they have the kink that they're heading into here at turn 11. Full commitment here, even in the nighttime. These headlights doing actually quite good work at the moment. They're a bit brighter than even I thought they were going to be here around Road America. But now Saville is being forced to the outside line as Dan Smith defending the inside line as they head into turn 12. They're going to go side by side. Saville backs out of it. Now he goes for this cut underneath. He gets the switchback. He's pulling up alongside. He's marching forward, and he's actually gotten ahead here out of turn 12. That was a great exit. I thought it was going to be wheel to wheel through the final sector, but Saville just said thank you very much, closed the door, swept it through, and that was a great move to take the lead. But I think that Dan Smith will be back in just a couple moments time in towards turn 1.
He will indeed. It's going to be a suck race down the front straightaway here at Road America. These guys are now looking for clean air. Look at Dan Smith warming the tyres. He's not happy with that thing at the moment in the Corvette, and Ty Saville is leading the race now. Unbelievable scenes here. He's got the jump here at the moment. Can he keep it there is the big question. But we had some incidents in that opening lap once this thing settles down. So I'm going to have a look at what happened to poor old Bradley Cairns here. Oh, my goodness me. Moneybags Pay Ratchets come together and smacko. That is unbelievable stuff. Huge scenes. 3, 4, 5, 6,000 cars involved there. How did any of them get through without it? Poor old Bradley Cairns has been yeeted into this 28th universe, and he's just unfortunately put it back to the pits. Gonski's for him. That was very, very big indeed. Let's see if we can find any of the others guys come through and see a view of that in just a hot second, because it looks like Dan Smith is just holding on here just by a whisker at the moment on Saville, but it's 0.3 of a second to these two as they march on down this twisty section of the circuit. Let's have a look from Ortner's onboard view here. He was already facing the wrong way, and there was Bradley Cairns smacko. See you later indeed for him. Good night, Irene. That car will be smashed, and even more carnage, and bang! Collected in the arse end as well. And he's called it a night already, and I don't blame him. That was sensational there for the spectators. Not so good, Lindsay Muddle, for the old racers.
Yeah, that was absolutely brutal. And actually, there was a chat curse involved in that one, Zacko, because somebody in the chat said, no death yet, love to see it. And then there was the pile up, and he's gone, might have jinxed that one. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't count towards the comms curse, but it sure is definitely a curse of some description there, Zach O'Reilly. That's why you can never talk in motorsport, but Kobe Marshall is close to the back of Ryan Hunter, as well as Ben Mead here is close to the better. So these gaps staying small here in the opening run, as well as Matt Monroe has just overtaken Parkinson further down the order. I've just spotted that on the timing tower, but here we go. Ben Mead looking to make the move here on DeBetta as they make their way out of the final corner. It's all about the exit. It's Mustang on Mustang power here as they make their way up the hill, up this Road America straight and towards turn 1. It is a really aggressive place to make a move. You need to be all the way alongside, and he's using the slipstream to get alongside here as he shows the nose. Is he going to go for it? Will he go late on the brakes into this high-speed corner? No, he waits, but could it be a turn 2 move? It's all about the run. Will he be patient? That is the thing here around Road America. There's so many potential opportunities, but you got to pick the right one. Otherwise, you end up in an accident, as we saw with that big pile up. I think maybe he might actually be sizing up a move in towards turn 5.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to get in the slipstream again and absolutely send one up the inside if he possibly can here. It is a left-hander coming their way, and it's a short kink so to speak. And then it's a little short run and then to another left-hander as well. And he's just half looked at it in the background there too. Merchant and Douglas have also just traded places there too. So it is now Dan Merchant in front of Kyle Douglas. He's having a good old sing here at the moment. And coming back at him at a rate of knots, straight up the inside goes Kyle Douglas. Beautiful switchback manoeuvre there. Merchant's not too happy about that, is this travelling salesman. But Douglas now, the old whiskey jar, has come through and just traded it back off him. He didn't want to give up that place because he is 8 positions up from where he started. So big dividend, and he's just looped it into the fence. Good night, Irene. He says, hit the showers early. That car has got one fast repair left and it's gone. Far out, Kyle Douglas. That's a comms curse indeed. Back on the board here, ladies and gentlemen. Straight up there. Holy mackerel. I was just about to praise the poor fella, and he just absolutely sent it into the wall here. What's going on here between DeBetta? He's closing in again here well, he's getting closed in by Benny Mead behind him, the magician, who didn't have the best of internet connections and just got his Wi-Fi router fixed. And I haven't seen him blink in and out of existence yet, Lindsay Muddle. It's one of those scenarios that we saw yesterday in the Skip Barbers. This has been Mead magician style, and finally he's upgraded the old Wi-Fi, the stingy bastard. Yep,
so he's no longer Blinky Bill, and he'll continue on and race here as long as he doesn't re-become Blinky Bill. We should have no problems here as they head towards turn 1. We saw him not make the move here last lap, so clearly he thinks there's better opportunities to go for overtakes as we now look to Rogers on Justice as they drag race towards turn 1. He might go for it. He's basically pushing the Porsche as they head into the braking zone. Will he go for it? He pulls to the right-hand side. He's going to make his presence known, and he is going to brake later. He's alongside. It's really risky. It's really tight for 2 GT3 cars. Then the Porsche Justice goes wide on the exit, but is able to keep it on the runoff area on the exit of turn 1. Rogers really applying the pressure, and there we go. Justice cracks as here comes Rogers on the attack here. The Porsche went wide through the exit. Now the BMW is on the prowl as they head towards turn 5. Could we see a late braking maneuver here from Ash Rogers as they head towards the braking zone? He's sizing it up, but he's not quite close enough. The attack was absolutely astonishing, but the defense was just better. I think the running wide actually might have given Justice a better exit. I think he just kind of squared it off and just got his foot down, and it ended up working for him, Zach.
I think it did, Lindsay, and that was just a different driving style and also strengths of the car too. The Porsche, once you do get that thing rotated, you've got the ability to just plant the rear end, and that heavy weight over the rear axle sort of slides the car out on the slip angle there, my favourite thing in sim racing, and you can just get that extra drive out, and that's what happened there. So we'll see how he goes further on into the race, but it's getting close here between Garth Duffy and Jeffrey Price, because it's 2/10 of a second, 3/10 thereabouts. They're finding their way around the back half of the circuit. They've got 2 corners to go before the big front straightaway. Can this big man in Garth Duffy for Sensational TV, not BL TV, I can give you the hot tip, go for it here on the move on Jeffrey Price. Into the final corner we go. Let's get it in, cut it over that inside curb, power out the other side in the Mustang, get the power down. It's 2 American manufacturers here, line astern battling. It's the bow tie versus the prancing horse there, and I'll tell you what, without circling the problem Ford style, seems like the bow tie's got this one all done and dusted so far, but Duffy's increasing his ability to get underneath the braking zone. Into turn 1 they go. That Corvette just massive speed through the midsection of any corner here, and Garth Duffy just has to do the old slow in fast out method to get it all sorted. Boy, oh boy, this is good racing from these two. It's getting close here. It's getting close in the back here with the old gavel thrower in Dan Justice there, Lindsay Muddle. He's closing in on the back here of Luke Williams.
Yep, he is really close here as they head in towards the second corner here at Road America. In fact, he might be attacking here at the second corner. He shows the nose here in the Porsche v Porsche battle as Williams will be feeling the pressure now. The presence has been made known in the rearview mirrors, and now he has to focus on the defense. Porsche on Porsche, so there's no sort of straight line advantage. It's all about the slipstream, but Justice, by showing that nose, hasn't gotten the best of exits, so he's looking to be in a little bit of trouble in the overtaking department, and in fact he can't get alongside and get it done. So nothing going for these two at the moment, but they're still close together as now we look at Ryan J. Ferber looking to attack Dan Smith. That gap 4/10 of a second, and then Ryan Hunter another 1.1 back, and then ahead of them Ty Saville is leading by 1.6 seconds in the Ford, doing very well for himself at the moment as Justice has just gotten past Williams as the camera goes off them. So there we go. It's the good old broadcaster's curse there. Whenever you look away, you can't say it, but that's why we have instant replays here, Zach O'Reilly. So this is the replay of the move. That was really bold, heading through the tight gap around the outside. Now he gets the inside for the long turn 9 and 10 complex, and he got it done that way. That was fantastic.
That was beautiful racing there. This is beautiful stuff there from the law-abiding citizen in Dan Justice himself. Lovely bit of overtaking on stream, but Williams is trying to come back at him there on the timing tower. It looked a bit close, but it is still close here at the front. This is the final step of the podium versus the second step here early on here in the hour race that we've got here under lights here at Road at America. I keep saying Atlanta. Christ almighty, I need to get that out of my vocabulary. Road America is where we are, and further is just keeping Dan Smith honest. This is unfamiliar territory for Dan Smith. He's usually the hunter, so to speak, and he's getting hunted big time. This is cracking stuff here from Ryan Ferber in that Mustang, just suiting this track at the moment. I think that Chevrolet Corvette, the C8 version, is not suited to this track at the moment for Dan Smith's liking here, but we'll find out at the end of the race if he does get into the podium probe. Look at this battling going on here. This was a timing tower. Yep. Timing tower just gave me an absolute nightmare there. I thought they were battling over the positions again, but this is good stuff. Look at now Merchant. He is closing in here on the lap traffic marker of De Better. Oh, no, he's not, in fact. That's Benny Mead in front. Goodness me, I'm having a good one tonight. He's closing in on the back of the better, looking left and right and feigning into the corner. He's just trying to send that Mustang a little bit earlier into the corner, and better was super wide there, and that's going to give the run up the hill straight into the magician's hand. Benny Mead hasn't blinked once in and out of existence. This is what you get for a good Wi-Fi router. You get yourself positions on the track there too, but he's going to have to do it the long way around, and he's susceptible here now to Merchant, who's lurking in the background there at the moment for some action himself. Motley Crue style. Is this going to be the move for Merchant? He's an aggressive overtaker at the best of times. Can he get that job done? No, he's too far away. What's it look like on the front bumper camera here for Benny Mead? Boy, oh boy, that Mustang's looking very close indeed. They're just lifting and breathing on the throttle. You can hear it there, mid-corner around that turn 9 downhill section, and it's just a absolute rate of attrition. Who gets the thing right? Who comes out the other side for this run into this straightaway kinked section? Kink to the right, now you kink to the left, then you got a right hand section coming up as well. You need to be confident on the brakes, get yourself in, get yourself settled and ready to rock and roll, and it's looking pretty good here between these two. But we've got to go back to this one because Ryan J. Ferber for the P2 position here has got alongside Dan Smith, and he's on the inside run, and Smitho's just been drag raced back down the front straightaway into the nose section. Nose to tail we go. Look how close Dan Smith is under brakes. Had to give up the ghost there. Then that Ryan J. Ferber gets into P2. Lovely driving, opportunistic, and he just played his cards perfectly there, Lindsay. Chess style versus checkers.
Yep, that was a good move, but that battling has now allowed Ryan Hunter to join the party. It's 3/10 in this three-way battle between each car. So you've got 3/10 from Smith to Ferber, and then from Smith to Hunter, you've got 3/10 again. So this is going to be really interesting stuff, as this is the battle for second position in the grand scheme of things. This is a three-way fight here. We're only 13 minutes in, Zach O'Reilly. We've seen a lot of racing so far, and there's no signs of it slowing down as they dive deeper and deeper into this race. But all the while, all of this battling, all of this close racing action is allowing Saville to get away 2 seconds out in the lead.
He is indeed, and looks pretty nice and comfy out there in P1 with a bit of insurance of 2 seconds. And it's, these guys are just losing time. More and more they battle and try to get themselves into a podium position. It's just releasing that man Saville out in front. But it looks like Ryan Ferber's got the measure on Dan Smith, who's just going backwards here at the moment. He's sort of the cork in the bottle here. Hunter's coming very, very quickly as well. Tell you what, Saville will be giving him the old hurry up in the comms too, saying, mate, I'm leading this one. What are you doing out down there in P4? Just hurry up a little bit, and the message will be received at some stage, I can guarantee you, because he's a quick customer. Here's Ryan Hunter. He's within 0.2 of a second, 0.3 of a second between himself and Dan Smith as well. Filing through BMW, looking pretty good through some of the corners. Other corners, you just have to measure yourself. Slow in, fast out the other side. They're a pretty understeery car, those things, but boy, oh boy, do they look good. And even under lights, you can see that is one of the best, probably one of the best GT3 cars ever be in existence, Lindsay Muddle, that BMW.
Yeah, it's a shame it's not an Aston Martin, Zach.
I know, I bought one today. High racing style, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I was about to say, hold on. Where have you money laundered that sort of money from, or have you taken a leaf out of my book? But no, yes. He's gotten it on iRacing. Yeah, no, I mean the Aston Martin is. I'm not even going to go on that rant. I feel like I've gone on that rant too many times. Zach O'Reilly. I love Aston Martins. That's all the viewers need to know.
DB9 Vanquish, mate. That's the one.
Oh, the DB9. What a beautiful car. That's my favourite Aston.
That is the one, isn't it? It is absolutely the best looking car that ever came out. And boy, oh boy, does it sound good too. Here's Ash Rogers, though. We can't see the one-fingered salute that we usually cop here in the daylight on his livery from old Betty White. But boy, oh boy, is he just sticking that thing really, really closely to the rim hole here of Luke Williams. And it's giving him a good old hurry up too, just using all the track apron and a bit more on the outside. Beautiful stuff there from the big man. He's just trying to get himself back up through the ranks and into the top 10 if he possibly can. Not doing that, though. Holy mackerel. Every time I've commentated on someone's ability tonight, they have nearly yeeted it or have yeeted it into the wall. So I'm just not going to say anything. I'm just going to be as mean as possible tonight. And if you tune in later on and you think, geez, that boy is a bit of a prick there speaking, he's just talking down to everyone. It's the reverse commentator curse, Lindsay. We know what we're doing here, I promise.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I can confirm that Zach definitely doesn't know what he's doing, but he pretends to at least. So, you know, that's why the commentator's curse actually builds, because whenever he tries the reverse psychology, he's trying to trick the world, and it just never works, ladies and gentlemen. Back at home. Really close there. I didn't think Ash was looking for a move, and then he's pulled to the outside, nearly collected him on the way through. So Rogers really making Williams know he's there. Down to third gear. That's really wide through this long right-hander there for Williams as they head in towards turn 11. And this could be a potential overtaking opportunity down through the kettle bottoms and into Canada corner at turn 12. As though this could be really close. Here comes the Ford Mustang of Matt Munro as well, though. So his brother Chris is in the chat, despite pulling a sickie here in the commentary box. Here comes Matt. That's the Matt we know. Late on the brakes, getting the move done. That was so late. He nearly pulled up alongside Williams. That was really aggressive stuff. Getting the elbows out, as a Munro does. It runs in the Munro bloodline. I swear to God, they all love to go for it ridiculously late on the brakes, but Matt's better at not hitting people, unlike Chris. So the shots had to be fired.
They're short, they're feisty, and they have those elbows out, those Munro boys. I'll give you the hot tip.
Yeah, and he's looking to go for 2 now because Williams is right there, right in front of him. Here he goes. The big front end of the Ford Mustang nearly hitting the back of that Porsche. He sees the opportunity to strike. He pulls to the outside at turn 1, and he's going to sweep through, get it done. Is it done yet, though? Is Williams fighting it back? No, that was an around the outside move in a GT3 car at turn 1 of Road America. That was fantastic stuff.
That's the confidence that Matt Munro needed. He needed to find the limit and just push right to it, and he did it right there at turn 1. Fantastic stuff. Trailer Park Girl. Poor old Luke Williams there, and just said, I'm skipping off into the distance if I can keep this thing consistent. You can push it a bit more, Matty, through those corners. The Mustang's got the grip there, this thing at the moment. Jeez Louise, they need to fix that iRacing. But boy, oh boy, is he on the charge. He is up from 16th place into 13th as Matt Munro with no practice at all. Wasn't even in the server. He's coming in and doing his practice in the race session. So a very, very good job from him. We'll see how far he can get up the grid by the end of this one. But this is now pressure point motors time again here for Ryan Ferber. It's under 5/10 of a second. It was out to 7 or 8 tenths was this gap between P2 and 3. But Dan is just starting to find a bit of ability here in his wheelhouse. He's just finding the grips of that Corvette now. Starting to come on song here. It might be the old karting thing where the kart comes on too early and you go backwards at the end of a race, or it just takes a while and then at the end you're like an absolute rocket ship for the last couple and you start slicing your way through the field. Is that what's going on with the Corvette here? It seems pretty ominous here. We're done to 2/10 of a second now between him by the time they get to the braking zone. Just hounding the back here of Ferber, putting the pressure on. But in speaking of that, our leader out in front, Saville, has not gapped this field, considering these boys have been half battling each other. It's still 2.5 seconds, so it's not easy sailing out there. And it could be just that little bit of a thought bubble that comes into Saville's brain once he sees that he can either push, coast, or maybe even just fuel save a little bit here or there. He might be able to keep going, Lindsay Muddle, and secure that P1. But, geez, he's got some angry cars behind him, and they're not far away in the old spread department.
Yeah, they're definitely not too far away. If he makes a mistake, he'll pay the price. But I think at this point, it's sort of just that idea of controlling the race, controlling his pace, saving tyres, saving fuel, just making sure he can go as long as possible. I think that could be the case here, as we've got an instant replay. That's Ben Mead, and that was a spin. And, he just keeps it out of the wall there, Zach, so that could have been disastrous. On the rejoin, though, spins back onto the racing line. That could have been disaster, but he manages to get it around just fast enough to not collect the next car.
Let's have a look and see what happened to him, because this is where it said he crashed, so I don't know where he's going to hit the wall, but it just looks like, yep, Too much inside curb. Loops it around there. Does the magician. Got that magic trick wrong. He knew he'd find the 6 of hearts somewhere in the deck, but unfortunately pulled out the 8 of diamonds, and he's back onto the track somehow. Did not get collected by anyone, so a bit of insult to injury for the big man. Benny Mead, the magician himself. But we're back to the racing though live, and these boyos here are still within 6 or 7 tenths on average of each other. 1, 2, 3 cars on your screen there. They got one mistake, as Lindsay said, from these boyos, and it's good night Irene to whatever position you've got, and they need to keep it consistent. They need to keep it clean and keep on racing out there for sure. Let's have a look and see what's going on out there in the chat land. Hello everyone. Oh, we've got Chris Aphelion out there as well. Brendan Ortner. Yeah, that's not even Brendan Ortner. That's the brother of Brendan Ortner out there having a go too. Good evening to all of you out there in the YouTube land. And if you are watching and you haven't already, please, for the love of Christ, give us a like on the video. It goes a long way to our YouTube algorithms. Subscribe to the channel and then press that bell to get notified as well for that, and you will be ever the wiser. I can give you the hot tip and you'll be very, very much entertained in the sim racing land. This is absolutely fantastic stuff. Who says someone mute this bloke? Goodness gracious me. Is Chris Aphelion, get out there, mate. Give us some curry. Mute someone in the chat. He says, I don't know who. Could be you, Lindsay Metal.
He was saying mute me when we were giving him the shtick earlier on. Yeah, a few minutes ago. But I mean, I'll tell you what, when you pull a sickie 3 days in a row, what do you expect, mate?
Well, yeah, true. I guess that's true, isn't it? I think with the old Munro man, it's just a matter of, you know what? I couldn't be bothered tonight, and I couldn't be bothered last night, and I couldn't be bothered the night before. So I'll just watch the business just grow on its own, and I'll just sit here and watch it all happen and just relax for a bit. I've deserved it. You know, all the self-gloating there that he needs. And, oh, my goodness me, speaking of self-gloating, he would have absolutely sworn at the TV, did the old Christopher Munro, and just say, you know what, Matt Munro, your brother, I got taken out and by the magician. I wouldn't be too happy about that one if that was the case. That was super close, and Benny Mead is a bit angry after that spin that he did all on his own, Lindsay.
Yep, that would have been a bit of a difficult situation had he rear-ended Matt Munro. Luckily, it didn't come to that. But yeah, he's on the comeback charge, but he's got to get the tyres back into their sort of window. When they overheat here on iRacing, they take a long time to come back down, and it makes the car significantly harder to drive. But Dan Smith now on the prowl, 3 tenths behind the Ford Mustang of Ryan Ferber as he's trying to make the move as they head in towards turn 1, but I don't think he's going to be close enough this time around. We're sort of seeing this going forward and going backwards effect, almost like what you'd see in F1 last year, where they get close and then drop back. But in this case, it isn't dirty air. It's just the cars being better and worse in different parts of the racetrack. But let's see as they head through turn 2, and then now the run towards turn. Oh, I mean, sorry, they went through turn 3. Now they're on turn 4 because the kink down the straight is technically classified as turn 4. I'm not going to get into all of that jargon, though. They're making the run towards turn 5. Can Ferber be overtaken here by Dan Smith as he's going to try and look for it? No, he's not. He's being patient for the moment, but Merchant and DeBetta have swapped around. At least that's what the timing tower showed. So we've got some racing further down, Zach O'Reilly, but are they actually close? No, I think it's a bit of the Blinky Bill type situation.
Nope, he crashed. DeBetta has yeeted himself off the field somehow. He's just swept it into the corner on the curb and out the other side. In fact, no, he's just pulled over to the side here. Very, very nice of him to do so, and gentlemanly like. There's obviously something going on hardware style there for DeBetta. He's there, he's not, he's back, he's there, he's not. He might have thought he had a disconnection there, in fact, and just got right out of the way. Very, very good etiquette on the track there for Jake DeBetta. He's pressing onwards, he's still here, and he obviously he did get overtaken, and he stopped again. Oh no, poor old Jake. He's not having the best night at the moment. There goes Douglas on him, and he needs to get himself started again, and if he can't, looks like it could be good night Irene for the big man, Jake DeBetta. Unfortunately, just sitting there stationary on the circuit. I wish we had a safety car. Boy, oh boy, that'd be lovely in this. But safety cars are not existent, but the racing is. And this is what we're looking at again. It's just toing and throwing yo-yo style here between these two. 3 tenths, 2 tenths, 4 tenths, 1 tenth, 3 tenths, 5 tenths is the gap each time. And you can see why. Because Dan Smith is just pushing that thing to the nth degree in that Corvette. He needs to get a good run onto this straightaway, which he has here, in fact, done on Ryan Ferber. It's under 2.5 tenths of a second, but it's still 2 car lengths away from a send. Dan's not shy to send one, though, at the best of times, but he yeets it back into the brake pedal. comes out the other side, but I think Ferber just ran a little bit wide there, and it has given Dan Smith a good opportunity to take it into turn 2 and 3. Goodness me, this is exciting stuff. There's the better on the infield there, just sitting there like a stunned rabbit. He's just sitting there watching the cars go by, and now it's Dan Smith's turn here to get a run here on Ryan J. Ferber. It's under a 10th.5, ladies and gentlemen, as we fire their way down the mini straightaway at Road America. He's flashing the lights just to distract Ryan J. Ferber. There is Dan Smith. Down the inside, he's going to go for a send, and he gets the job done so far. Into it 2x2 Noah's Ark style. Has he got the traction? No, he's just made a miff of it on the exit. There's not enough overlap here into the next left-hander as well, or is there? There is. Ferber's had to force himself out wide, and Dan Smith's gone through into P2, and look out. Here comes Ryan Hunter as well into this mix. It's getting spicy out here. This is dodgy Vindaloo territory. We're 25 minutes into a session of an hour, and it looks pretty racy. Look at Ferber nearly yeet himself off the track under the brakes. Hunter's just sitting in the background there wanting to prey on this one like a bloody lion at a wildebeest festival here at the moment. But geez always, congratulations there to Dan Smith. Opportunistic, bide his time, gets the overtake done, and now he's got P2 to fight off between Ferber and Hunter, Lindsay.
Yep, this is now going to be a really interesting situation because we know Dan Smith is very fast and then he slows up a bit. So will Ferber be desperate to get back past, or is he going to fall into the clutches of Ryan Hunter, who is indeed on the hunt? That is the question. We saw Ryan Hunter try and go for some aggressive moves in the supercars on Sunday, and it didn't particularly pay off well for him. But with a bit of ABS, maybe the problem might be solved here in these GT3s. That is the magic question, which we haven't seen answered yet. He hasn't really had the opportunity to attack these boyos in front of him. He's just been sort of sitting there, lying in wait, waiting in the wings to go for a move, but the move is just never coming because he just doesn't quite get close enough comparatively to how close Ferber and Smith have been getting to each other. So he just needs to stay with them and amp up the pace potentially a little bit here.
He does indeed, and see what that brings when these two start to fight again. If Dan Smith makes an error and Ferber can capitalise on it again, because he'll be right on their clacker for a good old tussle there. He's got the windscreen wiper on. There's no rain out there for sure, just giving it an old clean. And out the other side they go, out of turn 2, down the mini straightaway we go. It's all basically downhill once you get to that overpass there, the old real cheese group. And now it's just line astern here between these three. It's cracking racing. You can see how close they are here at night time. And when you're racing at night, it just tends to make everything feel a bit faster. I don't know about you, Lindsay, but it definitely does for me. Just feels like you're going at 400 mile an hour, and nearly 400 miles an hour spinning into the barrier. There was Ryan Ferber too. Just caught the outside bunda and nearly tiptoed his way back into a big concrete barrier on the left-hand side of the circuit. Ended up getting it out the other side though and racing onwards for him. And you can notice there, ladies and gentlemen, the field has spread out a fair bit. Qualifying was so close. We've already got lap markers. There's Mitch Sykes getting out of the way there as well from all of these boys, so he's done a good job to let them go through. But it was so close in the old qualifying standards. But when we come to the racing here, the cream rises, and boy oh boy, in the consistency department, there's this top 3 to, well, top 2 all the way to 4th place here. Show us how exactly to go. Consistent, hard racing style, lap after lap after lap. Nearly at the halfway point here, Lindsay, for this, and these boyos can start to think about maybe just coming in for a pit stop if the fuel tank's getting a bit low.
Yep, they definitely will be thinking about it soon enough, but this is going to be really interesting when the pit strategy comes into play. As Ty Saville just 4.1 seconds out the front at the moment. He shouldn't be under any threat unless he does something extremely stupid with his strategy, Ferrari style, which I don't think he's going to do. As we've seen over the course of this race, he seems to have his head pretty screwed on, but he's blinky Bill at the moment. This happened earlier on in the night as well, and I absolutely crapped my dacks because I thought the leader had binned it, but he in fact did, and he's just disappearing and reappearing iRacing style. And yeah, no, he's just controlling this race, really calm, really collected at the moment, just not making too many mistakes all the while. He's letting Smith and Ferber and Ryan Hunter really go at it, as I think lap markers have gotten in the way of that battle. I saw the lights flashing over the hill, and now they're only 2/10 separated back there, Dan Smith, Ferber and Ryan Hunter, so we could see some racing action heading in towards turn 5. In fact, I think that we will, because here we go. Look at this. Ferber's right underneath Dan Smith's rear wing here in the Ford Mustang. Will he go for it into turn 5? He's right there. Dan Smith forced to go to the defensive line on the inside. Ferber trying the outside line. Will he now get the better exit? Cut underneath here as they head up the hill and now towards turn 6. No, not quite close enough, but look at how close these three boys are. They closed up even more, overtaking some lap markers heading onto the straight, and now they have not come to mess around. It's battle time once more here, Zach O'Reilly, between these three.
It is indeed. It's looking pretty spicy, and it's close. It's 4/10, 3/10 between second, third, and fourth. And there's Dan Smith's error. He went onto the bunda there as well in the outfield. He's not going to be able to be getting that car pointed in at the right direction here for the optimum exit, I don't think. But he has got that job done. That mid-engine Corvette is just absolutely singing through those corners versus the front-engine plough machine here of the Mustang. But he's got half a chance here to Ferber. He's in the slipstream now. We've got about half the straight left before the next braking zone. He's approaching here. It's closing in, ladies and gentlemen. This is incredible. No, Dan Smith gets on the brakes a bit earlier, gets it out the other side. Ryan Ferber has to settle again right behind that C8 Corvette. He'll be getting sick of looking at that thing, knowing that he gave up that position about 10 minutes ago, and just hoping that the error comes his way and he can just take that position back where he rightly so had it, and out the other side he goes, but down the front straight away we are approaching, and it's all spread out once again. That little scare that we had has amounted to basically nothing so far from these boys. Still consistent, 3/10, 4/10 between these two. Just race on, lap after lap after lap, and it's just incredible stuff. This is how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. It's not about just sitting in a DRS train and pressing down that button and just going for a cheap overtake. It's literally about pressure to the guy in front of you and just hounding him, hopefully that he can make that error and you come out the other side and you get that position. This is what we go for racing here for, and why we love broadcasting, Lindsay Muddle.
Yeah, it absolutely is, and I think that this is gonna, it's so close, but it's like the braking zone heading into 5. It's heavy, but it is just not quite heavy enough to the point where you can really go for a late braking maneuver. So we're seeing Smith and Ferber get so close together. Ryan Hunter as well has been close on previous occasions, and they're really pressuring each other. But it's all going to be just about making the right decisions when the people in front of you make mistakes, which these three boys just aren't making at the moment. But David Marshall with the $10 in the chat saying it's good to see tight battles out front, and it absolutely is, Zach O'Reilly, and it has been absolutely sensational so far tonight. Still 30 minutes to go. I
know, we're over the halfway distance here, and it feels like we're in the final 3 minutes of the race. That's how close these guys have been lap after lap. We're loving every moment of it, and if anything at the moment, Dan Smith has just stretched that lead by 2/10. Doesn't look like much, but boy oh boy, that is very, very close as well. It's incredible to see how these guys go about it and keep it honest and clean and mean as well in the fair dinkum racing department. Saville leading this one still. He's basically led from lap 2 and onwards there, and he's stretched it out to 5.1 seconds. So a huge lead there for the man. He's got some insurance now that he can afford to wipe off, and let's go. This is great stuff here at the moment. We're gonna have to go back because we've got a fan in the chat of the Ortner, which is obviously who we know exactly what it is, and it is Brendan here. It doesn't look like he's where he should be, but he's down 10 places. He was in 10th, is Brendan. So we'll see if he can get further up there. We're just got to keep you viewers entertained, get the people out there wanting to see their boyo, girlo, animal, you know, whatever, XY, XX chromosome out there racing around, and go for it here as Cicciolina has come into the pits to serve a pit stop for him. So he's out of that battle now. It's going to be changed for a position between him and Oliver and Merchant as well. Matt Munro is in 11th place. He's climbed his way up here, Lindsay Muddle. Lovely to see the big man up 5 places from where he started in 16th. And this is just education after lap here. It's cracking stuff.
Yeah, this has been good stuff from Matt Munro. He's just really building on the experience as the laps go by. As we've got, as you said, Cicciarello in the pits. But does that mean we'll see some more stops? As there we go, Z Toxic as well with the 10. Saying thanks for the content, boyos. That is absolutely sensational stuff here in the chat, Zach O'Reilly. I think it could be the good old bidding war that we're used to with Ron Marshall.
Indeed, we've got one Marshall in there, David Marshall, watching his son Kobe go around, and then we've got Morgan Freeman's love child and Travis there, who is the Toxic, saying thank you very much, as we say thank you to you for your super chat, as well as David too. We really appreciate it, but it's getting close again here between Ferber and Smith, and it's on for the lead once, or the lead pack here between P2 and 3. The step on the podium versus the last one is really close here. 0.2 of a second again. goodness gracious me, they're going for it. And I tell you what, every time that happens, it's like one corner is what we see mistake-wise from Dan Smith. Ferber's there to take the prow, but at the final death, he just can't get it done here so far. He's got plenty to go, but geez, it'd be frustrating sitting behind here in the old mindset department. You'd be nearly half red misting, knowing that you've got him 0.2 of a second, 1.5 of a second, and then the braking zone comes up and you're just not close enough to go for it again. But boy, oh boy, is he keeping Dan Smith honest. He's cracking racing up and down the field. Jeffrey Price, he's in the pits as well, so he's coming through to serve his pit stop. They're doing it relatively early compared to these lead markers out here at the moment. So very, very interesting, the strategy-wise, to see how these lead guys go. Will they follow Saville in once he comes into the pits? Because they've got 5 seconds to make their decision on whether they do so or not. But with these blue flaggers coming right up in the front windscreen of Dan Smith's Corvette, this could start to get a little bit spicy here, Lindsay. Again, this is incredible stuff. Seesawing again in the playground.
Yeah, and he's just always prowling, and I'm just surprised we haven't seen a bigger mistake from Dan Smith, just watching that big Bodie Ford Mustang. I mean, it takes up your entire mirrors even when they're far behind, let alone when they're right up underneath your rear wing. So it's so easy to feel the pressure and make a mistake, and he's just not flinching. We've seen some micro mistakes, but nothing enough to change the name of the game here in this one, as Ryan Hunter just being patient as well, as now we're looking at Brendan Ortner at the moment behind Chambers. So this is a different battle now between the two Porsches here on the grid, and this could be quite interesting. 19 and 20 this battle is for, and I said the two Porsches on the grid. I'm not sure why I said that. There's about 1,000 just in the section of the timing tower they're on. But now as they head down in towards turn 12, this could be a move here. Ortner goes to the inside, brakes late, pulls up ahead of Chambers, getting that move done on the Castrol liveried Porsche. Here comes a different Castrol livery, because here comes the leaders. Dan Smith trying to get his way through, flashing the lights as fast as he possibly can. Wow, there we go. Look at how quickly he goes flying by. Ortner just pulling out of the way. This gives him some breathing room. As off the track goes Ortner. He has to rejoin at some point, and that's affecting Ryan Hunter as well, because now Ryan's not able to get a slipstream. He's drag racing the lap marker in towards turn 1, getting ahead, but that has spaced out these three just a little bit. Not too much, but by about 6 tenths a pair.
Yeah, 6 tenths a pair there for Ortner. He just got the job done there on effing Chambers, and nearly gave it up again, because he's right back on the prowl once again too. So it's a bit of a curse at the moment for us commentators, just giving him the old G up, and then he stuffs it up again. Boy, oh boy. And then even in the chat there, the other Ortner was going, nice job there, Brendan. And then next minute, he's off the track. Retract that statement. 100%, but he's still surviving here for 19th place. A disappointing place to where he would normally be in the top 10 going for it. Don't you worry about that, would Brendan Ortner. So interesting stuff, and Chambers is just hounding him at the moment. We've got a couple more in the pits. Matt Munro's come in as well, so he's serving his pit stop right about now too. Bit of unfamiliar territory for him on the old grippo department, I would say. Bolt some 3 tyres on there and get yourself back out and go once again if you possibly can. Pryso's coming into the lane, I think. No, Pryso was in the lane, so he's come out and doing it, and we'll see what Matt Munro can do once he exits that pit lane. But onwards and upwards for these boys. It's still so close at the top here between Smith, Ferber, Hunter, and it's just unbelievable racing. I just don't know where to look in terms of the timing tower. It happens up and down the field. You can look away for one battle, and within that 4 or 5 seconds you're looking at it, the gap can go from 6 tenths down to 1, and it's incredible. That's how close these boys are. That's how consistent it is, and just a testament to that these boys racing as well. I love seeing it. That's why we love commentating here in the box as well. Munro's finally coming out of the pit lane. He's lost a couple of positions there. Cicciolina, Price and Parkinson have all got past him. And it was going to be Kyle Douglas as well, but he's come into the pits now. It's Benny Mead's turn to get onto the back end of him. How close is he going to be on Matt Munro? Not close enough. There's Matt up in the foreground in the distance there. So Munro back out in 12th place now on the alternate strategy. I'm going to bring that up just for you guys one moment. We'll switch over to this one, the closest battle. Oh, no, it's not actually, because we've got Savdoritis here really going for it on Betty White. There's the one finger salute, Lindsay. If you didn't know what we were talking about, have a look at that thing. That BMW is just one finger waving as he drives around the circuit. But there goes Savdoritis up the inside. The Greek god in the Homer Simpson livery mobile just nudges the old Rogers out of the way and says, you know what, bugger you, mate, I'm off down into the distance.
Yeah, I hadn't even clocked Zabdoritas' livery until this moment. That is my favourite livery on the grid. Zach O'Reilly, in fact. I love that. I need a closer look at that. We need a free cam if there is one here on iRacing, because that is absolutely perfection, that livery. Bright pink Homer Simpson style livery. And actually, my dad has a shirt. He has a shirt of that livery.
Yeah.
Fun fact. So, yeah, quite used to it. Quite used to seeing that little sort of design. I absolutely love it. Now that I've clocked it, I'm obsessed. But anyway, we'll move on past as Zabdoritas. As much as he got by, Rogers isn't going to let him go too easily here. He's still sticking behind the Porsche that just overtook him as Zabdoritas trying to get away. And he is slowly inching forward, but Rogers still keeping him honest.
He's keeping him honest here at the moment. As these scenarios for the pit stops, you can see why we've got a big gap between Merchant to Kobe Marshall there. Everyone from 8th position down has at least taken a pit stop, apart from Mitchell Sykes there. So that's the strategy difference. That's why that lead 7 are still circulating around and coming into lap traffic scenarios also. So they've still got to do their pit stop there. Or do they? That's the question. They might be fuel saving. It's unbelievable stuff. I don't know what they're doing, but that's the strategy there for those boys out in front. And it's enough to make your eyes start to cry a little bit, just how beautiful these boys are racing in general here. Bit of carnage at the start. Now he comes into the pits to Zabdoritas to serve his pit stop, so he's going to get done there by a couple of cars as well. And Savills in the pits too. The scenario has changed here, ladies and gentlemen. The main man, the leader of the race, has come in. So now these other boys here are going to go for the overcut scenario. Ty Savills going to go for the undercut. Where is he going to come out in relevance to Dan Smith and Ryan Ferber and Hunter? Can he nail the pit stop? These are all the questions, Lindsay, that we need answered, and we're going to see here how this pit stop goes here for the race leader.
Yep, this is now going to be a critical point of this race. So he's in the box. Where does he come out? And then when the others box, how much time will he lose or gain? Those are all the questions that we need to be asking, and all the questions that will be answered as we go further and further into this race. But there's not too long to go now, so you've got to imagine everybody has to pile in soon. Duffy as well has entered the pit lane. Ty Savills on the pit exit, and he's emerged in 5th position, so he's not getting any traffic in front of him either. He's just got to warm up the tyres, get the pace up, and just keep going and going and going until these boyos come in, which they will have to eventually. So 18 minutes to go. When will these boyos blink?
When will they? That's the question. It's got to be now or the next lap, depending on what their lap times are in comparison, because Ty Savills is a 2:01.9 was his best. These guys are doing low 2:02, so he's still got 0.3 of pace advantage over him when the tyres are fresh or when he's on song. It does Saville. So is that going to equate to a perfect pit stop for Saville? Looked pretty quick to me. He was in there, we crossed off him, and then within 5 seconds he was already moving out of the pit stop. So what are these boys doing in their pit strategy box as well? Are they choosing just to splash and dash and last the tyres out as well? Because I think that's what Saville did. It was too quick for a tyre change. Goodness gracious me. So we'll see where he comes out in the grand scheme of things. We're going to have to wait until these boyos round the final 2 turns, because Zabdoritas just went off the track as he came out of the pits, and he's already put it in the pits again, and now he's even quit too. There goes Dan Smith straight in. So does Hunter right behind him, but tell you what, Ferber has gone in behind him. Hunter's just kept going around, so he's going long. He's probably got the old memo there of Saville to just keep racing around if you can. If you've got the fuel and you've got the pace and now you're released, try and get that perfect in-lap to the pit stops, champ, and we might come out in P2 and 1 together. This is incredible stuff. But where is Ty Saville?
Yep, that is the magic question. He's heading through the final bit of the racetrack now. He's just entering the very, very, very long... he's entering the final corner. I'm completely lost here, Zach O'Reilly. The night time not doing me any favours. So as he's coming up past the pit lane now, where is Dan Smith? Will he fly past him, or is it going to be a bit of a drag race on the way out? No, Dan Smith is still stopped. Here he goes on the exit, so Ty will come out comfortably ahead. But I think Dan Smith did gain some time there because of the cold tyre run that Ty had to deal with. But now Dan will be copping the brunt of it himself. He has cold tyres. So I think maybe the overcut strategy could be the way to go, because as much as you close in with the undercut, look at how much he's just going to drop back through a couple of corners here, Zach. The cold tyres are brutal.
They are. He's already lost a second within 2 corners, ladies and gentlemen. That's how quickly it is already dissipated out. It was a good 6 seconds when he came into the pits lead. It's 4.1 at the moment. How quickly will the tyres phase in to the rubber surface on those tyres himself? For Dan Smith, we'll find out. 4.3 seconds is now. So he might have found a second or two here overall if the lap times keep consistent here. So it was an advantageous place to do it, but they're too far and too late there for Dan Smith to get that overrun here. But let's see what Hunter can do too, because he's gone longer than this man on the screen. And Saville was the first to blink out of the lead 8. So very, very interesting stuff. Where is Hunter? There he is right now, rounding the final turn. He's coming onto the front straightaway now. He's definitely going to come into the pits right as we speak. Thank you very much, he says. Where is Saville? Saville is rounding the back straight. The kinks to the final 3 corners of the track, and this guy still hasn't come to a stop. So I think Saville's definitely going to comfortably get it here. But can Dan Smith get that job done on him as well? As also, there's the big man himself. Where is he? He's gone. Where has Ryan J. Ferber disappeared off to, Lindsay Muddle? I can't see. Oh, he's in 10th place. He's had a shocker of a pit stop.
Yeah, I was about to say that. That is really, really not good. He was up the front there in the thick of it. Now he's in 10th and he's still circulating. So I'm not sure what's happened there, Zacho. I don't know if you can get a replay or if it was a problem in the pits. That's really, really peculiar as we see Hunter's on the pit exit. And there goes Saville. Where is Ryan Hunter going to come out in the grand scheme of things? Is he going to come out ahead of Dan Smith? He has. He's jumped him. So the overcut, as I said, Zachariah, the overcut's the strategy to play. Dan Smith definitely has the opportunity to close back up a bit, but that's a huge overcut. That's 3 seconds, even with the cold tyres. That's not going to do much. Maybe Ryan Hunter was just conserving, and because he stayed out so long, he had to put less fuel in the car, and that is really powerful. That is great driving and great strategy awareness there for Ryan Hunter.
It is. It's incredible stuff. That is unbelievable. I would say that either he was fuel saving and just being comfortable and balking his own self, just sitting behind the boys trying to tag onto him and still just Lyco in and out. But somehow he has just jumped them big time. I did say that there was a 2-second advantage for Dan Smith onto the gap between himself and Saville with the overcut, and then that has just transversed itself plus 2 seconds for this man Hunter as well. The longer you go, the better you'll be, overcut style. And look at that. It is still good 2 and a bit seconds between himself and Dan Smith from any threat behind. Cracking action here at Road America. Lovely, lovely stuff. There's Dan Smith. We just saw him. He's rounding that corner as well, downhill right-hand sweeper. Oh, geez, scenes here, and it's going to be the teammates 1 and 2 here so far with 47 minutes gone in this race. We've got 13 to go. Can Dan Smith get back up into P2? He's closing the gap. It's already been bridged by half a second there over Hunter. This could be interesting. Race on here for the final step on the podium. Well, I can give you the hot tip. It's on. Look at the magician, though. He's right on the clacker here of Matt Munro as well, so he's going to go for a send here. He's within a 10th of a second. No, he just pulls out at the last minute. Just tries to get that car apexed a little bit later than the Matt Munro style. Can't get the job done. Still got to fight over it too. So that's 2/10 of a second there between these guys now. Looking pretty racy here for 13th and 12th. Race on. 13 minutes, 12 minutes there to go, basically. And it's still Dan Smith, Ryan Hunter, P2 and 3 is the battle that we want to keep looking out for here.
Yeah, it definitely will be. But now that Hunter's tyres have come up, all that time gain that Dan Smith was having is now not going anymore. He closed and closed and closed, as you do with the tyre difference, cold versus warm. But now Hunter's tyres have creeped up into the window. Now that gap is sitting very solidly at about 1.5 seconds. I think potentially over pure pace, Dan Smith might still have the better pace, but over the next 12 minutes, he needs to close probably 7/10 to slipstream. And then beyond that, you still need to get past, which we saw with Ryan Hunter in the Gen 3s on Sunday. Is not particularly easy to do sometimes, as here goes Ben Mead, forced to the outside line by Matt Munro. He tries sweeping it the long way round, gets a good exit over the exit curb. Munro still defending, and he's going to stay ahead of Ben Mead at the moment. But this is great stuff between the two Ford Mustang drivers. But yeah, Dan Smith definitely has been given a bit of a challenge to live up to.
He definitely has, and that'll be very, very exciting. 1.5 seconds is the gap, and these guys now need to keep themselves race onwards in the front pack, and so does Benny Mead here too. He's started to head rattle Matt Munro. It's under a tenth and a half here now, up into the braking zone to the turn one. Will he send it? No, he won't, but Matt Munro's gone super deep into that corner as well, and out comes the other side. Benny Mead back within 0.2 of a second, so the slow in, fast out is working. Munro just working those front tyres overtime on the Mustang as well. It's two of them. Line of stern here. This is for 12th and 13th place. Benny hasn't got the best of exits there out of turn 3, allegedly, and they're racing onwards here. Downhill we go. Oh, Benny's just decided to disappear in and out of existence again, so the Wi-Fi has not been fixed, but he's gone very, very close here. He's just pulled out at the last minute. He won't go for that move up the inside. Matt Munro survives on another lap and a half here from the threat of the magician Benny Mead. 1.8 seconds is the gap, though, to Dan Smith and Ryan Hunter. Hunter has stretched that lead over him in P2 and 3. It's 4.3 seconds between Saville and Hunter. Is that gap going to close here, or is it going to be interesting? But this is just race onwards here from Benny Mead. He's looking really spicy here, Lindsay.
Yep, this is a great race. Oh, wait, Dan Smith and Ryan Hunter have swapped places. Oh, Zach, Ryan Hunter's slow on the timing tower, at least. Unless the timing tower's had a mare, I think Ryan Hunter might have had a spin or an accident. Here's the instant replay. So he's in such a good position there to claim an easy P2, and it's just looped on the entry. That's bizarre. He's just carried speed through, and the rear's gone on him, and that's just gone from an incredible strategy call and an easy 1-2 for Team OCE to Ryan Hunter dropping behind him.
Oh, dead set. Poor stuff there for Ryan Hunter. Dan Smith's luck is just growing by the second here at the moment. He couldn't believe his eyes when he saw that BMW rotate off into the outfield on the left-hand side of the circuit into the kitty litter. And now he's got P2 and he's just going to skip away here, I feel. It was just too much too late there for Ryan Hunter to get himself back up into the track before Dan Smith arrived on the scene. And that's exactly what happened there. Geez. The strategy call was brilliant, but the old mistakes just start to creep in with the fatigue here. 51 minutes of racing done, and with the last 8.5 minutes to go here, Dan Smith has got P2. Ryan Hunter, unfortunately, settling here for P3. We're going to have to go back here to this battle because they're just not letting go of each other. Here is Benny Mead and Matt Munro. If Chris is still watching out there after he got his Uber Eats and just bragged about it on the stream, that he's just got it there sitting there chomping down on a bit of KFC, I reckon. If you're eating KFC while you're sick, you're not sick, Lindsay Muddle. I'm just going to say it right now.
Oh, no, you're absolutely not, and that's what any parent in the world would tell you, and he's the parent here. That's a late switch to the inside from Benny Mead. That was really aggressive there, but just not able to make anything stick, but he's really trying to make Matt Munro think, but I don't know the amount of time. Oh, here's more side-by-side. I was about to go on around about the whole Christopher Munro KFC situation, but that can wait for another time, because here comes Ash Rogers looking to attack Chambers as they head towards turn 5. Into the braking zone they go. Will it be a late on the brakes maneuver here from the BMW? No, he's just going to stay patient for now, but just taking a much wider line in and a wider line out, maybe too wide though, as they now head through turn 10 as we go back to Benny Mead and Matt Munro. Surely it's only a matter of time before Mead can get through on Munro. He's been right there knocking on the door since, well, about 3 or 4 laps ago, and he can't get by. So here we go, he's right there, but Munro's just hugging the inside more than a tree hugger hugs a tree, and now into the braking zone. He's trying to make it stick, but he just can't do it. Munro's just holding the inside of the corner and nothing sticking here, but it was a bit poor off the exit there for Matt Munro through this final complex of corners. Matt Munro's just a little bit quicker than Ben Mead at the moment, but the exit off the final corner is critical. That's wide. That's a mistake there from Matt Munro. So this will be Mead's opportunity as they head up the hill here at Road America. In the slipstream he goes. He's gaining and gaining and gaining. Does Munro go to the inside? He tries it. He moves slightly. He goes to the middle of the track. That, of course, is a really tricky situation here for Ben Mead. Munro is just not giving him an inch. Now he defends the inside, returns to the racing line. Does Matt Munro? Ben Mead cannot get past the Great Wall of Munro.
Goodness me, this is China style here, ladies and gentlemen. Look at Benny go. He was just bump drafting him down the front straightaway as well. There's another mistake there from Matt, and Ben checked himself up on the exit. He just needs to put the throttle down and just power out the other side. Now he's again going to be bump drafting him down this mini downhill straight that we've got. Is he going to feign left or right? Is Matt Munro? He's going to stick it hard left and just keep it here for the defensive maneuver coming into this deep, heavy braking zone. Downhill into the left-hander we go. On board here we are with Magician. He's gone for the upside down switchback. Can't get that job done. Munro's got the power down and said, you know what, good night, Irene, to you for now, son. I've got that corner nailed. But if he keeps going wide here, there's Matt Munro. Benny is just going to slide it up the inside quicker than a you-know-what, and he's just going for it. This is a cracking little tussle here. These boys are going on and on and on. It's a cracking little scenario that we've got here too. So has this man here, Ryan J. Ferber, found out what happened to him, Lindsay. He accidentally teleported to the pit lane.
Oh, no.
And that's why he is back down where he is, and he's fighting backwards here inside the top 10 underneath the inside of Oliver. Cracking aggression there from the big man. Oliver's going to go on the switchback here, though, I reckon. Look how close he is there. The headlights literally inside the camera there too on Ferber, but that is Dave Oliver, thankfully, just getting out of the throttle there before the disaster has happened. And these boyos here are racing hammer and tongs, is just cracking stuff through the kink, and there goes Dave Oliver around. He goes absolutely pirouetting. See you later, alligator. Unfortunately for him, we're going to have to get back and see what happened to him, because he was there and next minute he's not. Look at that oversteer on exit onto the curb and 360'd out the other side. Didn't even hit the concrete wall there, Lindsay. Good recovery.
Yep, that was a good pirouette. But something I did notice, Zach, you called it was it wasn't going to happen too early, because Ryan Hunter and Dan Smith are about to be prowling back into battle. Ryan Hunter has closed 2 seconds. All the while, though, here comes Ben Mead for another opportunity on Matt Munro. This time, Matt decides to not hold the inside. He knows he's safe through the outside line into turn one, just taking the racing line. But yeah, the battle for second position's back on. 2 seconds, over 2 seconds has been closed here between Ryan Hunter and Dan Smith. Hunter not letting it up easy. Hey, oh, there we go. Dan Smith has spun right in front of Ryan Hunter. They nearly make contact. Great avoidance there from Ryan Hunter. It's all kicking off. A mistake there to bite it back. Kobe Marshall is now going to sweep into the final podium place. That was just on the throttle. Full spin up the rear style. Here we go. Let's take a look. No, did he hit the grass on entry? No, it's just swapped on the rear, and he's just got on the throttle too early, lit up those rear tyres. The rear axle complained and said, no, you're going for a gravel bath, sir. And then Kobe Marshall saw that opportunity to move up into third too. That is absolutely brilliant stuff. So first we see Ryan Hunter make a mistake to allow Dan Smith in front. Then he closes up 2 seconds, and just as it looks like Ryan might have the opportunity to take the place back, he gets it for free.
Unbelievable scenes here, just unbelievable stuff. I'm loving every moment of that. This is what endurance racing does to you. 60 minutes behind the wheel at night time. It catches the best out. It's caught P2 out of Ryan Hunter, then it caught out P3, but he was in P2 of Dan Smith, and now he's inherited fourth place because he spun himself out. And now Kobe Marshall on screen has said, thank you, mother for the rabbits. I'll have that podium as well, with not even 3 minutes to go left in this race. Scenes here for the Marshall household. Goodness gracious me. This is unbelievable. David in the chat will be having kittens out there at the moment. This is a beautiful scenario for Kobe. He's just got to keep that internet connection intact as he circulates around. He's got 2.5 seconds between himself and Dan Smith. Can Dan get that back in the next couple of laps? That is the question. But the scene of the night, Dan Smith spinning, Ryan Hunter spinning, and both of them costing each other positions. Dan Smith, unfortunately, the worst off out of those two scenarios. Benny Mead, though, he's fighting back here with Matt Munro once again. Now we're just going for it. It's like within 0.1 of a second. It's within hundredths of a second at a time. These guys have just fought onwards and onwards and onwards. I'm absolutely entertained by these three. It's just enthralling stuff here, Lindsay Muddle. How consistent these boyos can be and how clean they can keep it between the two. So respectful here for the dying moments of the hour.
Yeah, it has been really, really impressive, but the patience on display from Ben Mead, I mean, I'll tell you what, if I'd been staring at the back of Matt Munro for this point, I would have gotten sick of his ugly mug and gone down the inside and probably given him a door bang on the way through. But Benny Mead has just been braking early, being patient, and the patience is going to pay off here potentially, because there we go, the mistake is finally made by Matt Munro. There's contact there through the entry, and after all of the patience, it pays off. Benny Mead gets the place with about a lap or two to go, but Matt Munro is not as patient, Zach O'Reilly. We know that firsthand. Could we see a dive back here soon?
Oh, we'll find out very shortly, but is that going to release Ben Mead, who has been fighting and fighting and fighting for that 12th place like his life depends on it? And if he's got the clean air now in front of him, he could skip away here from Matt Munro, and it looks like he has done by a good 3 or 4 tenths already within 2 corners. So we'll see if that fight goes on. It's the battle of the 13th place. Unlucky 13, they call it. We don't want to see it, but it's battle on down in the back here, because Brock Clark He's just starting to get a little bit closer here. You can see him really close to the back end of Douglas, and they're nearly side by side down this back straightaway here too between these two. Up the inside goes on the defence there was Douglas, but Clark's going for the switchback as well. He was caught up in that first lap incident, smashed into a couple of cars as well, but he's still fighting over it. He's fought through this race, kept himself honest, and he doesn't need any sponsors because he's a trillionaire too, mind you. But he's got also a bit of company here from the arsehole in Ortner, sticking up his end at the back of this one. 26 seconds left to go in the race, and it's nearly over. Oh my goodness me, and Munro and Mead have also traded places again. That's just, we saw that one go. We're gonna have to quick cross back to these boys. Look at this for a Leviathan battle. Munro up the inside, says it, thank you, I'll take that position back again. We'll have to look this. Let's see how Matt Munro did it, ladies and gentlemen. Side by side up the front straightaway. That would have been Benny Mead's error on the final exit. He's got the drag race. They were literally dragging each other down the front straightaway here into the downhill section they go. Munro's in front. Mead's just there. The headlights are just showing, nearly door banging again. Bit of return serve, and Munro sweeps it down to the inside. But you watch Benny Mead come for a switchback here. He's trying and trying and trying. This is incredible stuff again. But we've missed the goddamn checkered flag here, because this man, Ty Saville, has won, and he has won it by an absolute country mile here. Your winner for the feature race here tonight, 60 minutes. Saville take about 10 seconds over Ryan Hunter there, and Kobe Marshall gets himself onto the podium place. Dan Smith could not catch him, but what a drive there from this man, Lindsay Muddle, Ty Saville.
Yeah, and that was incredible to lead the team OCE 1-2 as well in that one. They're both in the same team, Hunter and Saville, but that was incredible driving. I mean, he just got the lead and didn't look back. He got that initial 2 seconds, and then strategy played into it, consistency played into it, and I mean, to put 10 seconds on a driver like Ryan Hunter, who is normally so fast, and I mean, he was so fast. He got second position, but Ty Saville just went the extra mile here at Road America. He just drove a perfect race, and the fast, well, not a fastest lap actually, but his best lap, a 2:01.9. That is incredible pace, and just the consistency he showed was just incredible.
It was, and it was the fastest lap, by the way.
Oh, was it? Oh, it wasn't purple, so.
No, he secured it. 2:01.99 was the best. The next best was the man behind him, Ryan Hunter, with a 2:02.18. So a good 2/10 over the next best competition. Congratulations to that big man. Far out. Ty Saville gets it. In the end, there's a couple of boyos still racing around. Look at Matt Munro, though. This is on again here, ladies and gentlemen. This is not over here for the start-finish line. It's a drag race between Munro and Mead, and Munro has not got the job done. Benny has taken it by 0.003 of a second over the big man for the final podium positions in the dead set 13th and 12th department. Goodness me, Benny Mead has got it off Matt Munro for the final dying millimetres of that circuit. Goodness gracious me, that battle has just been one of the Leviathan styles here at Aussie Sim Racing. Lovely stuff. And Benny Mead gets 12th place. Geez, we're not usually that excited over 12th place and 13th, but that battle there just kept raging onwards and upwards. And wow, what a finish to that one. Holy mackerel. And they're just talking to each other as they're driving down here at the moment, having a good old conversation, I reckon. Because that was a performance, Lindsay, mind you. That is the cleanest racing I've seen all night, actually, for three guys just genuinely battling within 2 or 3 tenths. That has to be a contender there for the driver of the day sort of style there from both of those.
Yeah, I mean, Mead was just so patient. He didn't go for anything aggressive, and then he got ahead. And Matt Munro does what Matt Munro does, sent it back, took the position, and then Ben Mead stayed patient again and got him to the line. So I think Matt Munro might be kicking himself. He tried so hard and defended so hard to stay ahead just to lose it at the line like that.
Oh, you'd be spewing if you were Matt Munro. You'd be cheering if you're Benny Mead, the magician. Pulls the rabbit out of the hat at the last minute, just when we thought it was all over. Those guys come and send it at the final dying moments of it. Jeez Louise. Wow. What a race. Let's get the old results up here just to be official here, ladies and gentlemen, and see what it looks like. That is the official result. Oh, no, they're not going to show up, are they? No, they won't. Bugger them. If they're going to show up, I'll just put it there. Saville, Hunter, Marshall, and Smith with Duffy rounding out the top 5. Bryce, Cicciolina, Merchant, Ferber, and Parkinson, final 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 positions there on the track. With outside that, Oliver 11th, Benny Mead and Munro separated by B's Dick there for 12th and 13th. Then it was Chambers, Rogers, Justice, Williams, Asonia, Douglas, and Clark for the top 20, with Orner, Sykes, and Bennett being the last of the survivors on the track, with the better Sabdoritas, Payrac, and Bradley Cairns calling it quits early out of that one. Well, it's been a scene tonight, and you know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. Limp Biscuit style, it's time for the good old podium probe, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to get to these guys in just a second. It's been incredible racing from all in sundry, and I love seeing how these boyos go about it. It's just incredible stuff, and we love watching these guys do it, and how they did it is just a masterclass. So let's get down to them. In the sensational commentary chief positions, wowee. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your podium probe, and these are the three guys on the podium. We had Ryan Hunter taking the win, and but he was wishing he was taking the win. Saville took the win. Hunter gets second place, and Kobe Marshall gallantly comes through, just parted the seas like Moses for third. But we're going to go to the man who won the race by a country mile. Ty, that was clean as a whistle, mate. How'd you feel through that?
Yeah, it was good. The tires were very dead, but yeah.
I was wondering if you were going to take the old tyre stop when you came in, comparison to everyone. It was just too long in the pits for that to be an option, or were you half thinking about it?
Yeah, I think I thought about it, but I remember dying in the previous races by taking tyres, so I just decided not to. I nearly died a couple of times by not taking them, but I think it was the right choice.
Definitely was. Lindsay Muddle, it's your turn, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, Ty, you let as much as you didn't have the livery on the car or any sort of logo on the car, you let a Team OC 1-2. I mean, was there a lot of communication between you and Ryan in that one, or were you just in your own separate calls doing your own thing and it just happened to go that way?
Yeah, we're in the same call, but I put the Team OC livery on. I didn't realize I wasn't running it, and so copped a little bit of slack for that, but
yeah, he came into the chat as well, did Ryan, and he was like, typical. Yeah, it was like typical Ty. And yeah, I'm sure that leading the Team OC 1-2 without the Team OC logo, I mean, that's just outrageous stuff. But no, it was an incredible drive from you. Was there just a lot of management in that race? Were you just controlling your pace?
Pretty much, yeah. Just try not to die.
Yeah, fair enough. As now Zacho will lead you on to Mr. Hunter.
We are going to talk to Mr. Hunter because that man did the undercut of the night.
Or Zacho can just be dead.
No, I'm here.
Where is he? He's gone missing, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, you can't hear me. I can hear you.
Well, and I don't even know. Hold on, let me turn on the broadcast audio.
I don't know what you're doing, mate. I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, they can hear me. All right, I guess I'll do it myself then. Ryan, you picked up the P2 there. I mean, it was scary stuff for you at the end. You had the moment at turn one. I mean, before I get on to even after that, just walk me through that little moment on itself, because that looked really random.
Yeah, bit of a moment. I took a left front in the pits and not a left rear, and then I just wasn't concentrating too much in the extra front grip.
Turn it up. What happened there?
Sorry.
There's that. I mean, you just explained
it. With the left front. Sorry, I missed the arse end of it. I thought you said you took every tyre but the left front. Sorry, keep going.
No, it's just the left front.
Okay. There we go. Was it one of the things that you pre-planned throughout that event, or was it just a last-minute sort of thought that went through and, you know, it's the working side, I need some turn in here, might help me in the arse end of the race?
I planned to take both lefts, but I wasn't going to be able to fit both on with the fuel, so just took the left front, thinking that would be the more beneficial one.
Well, it was interesting to see. I don't know if Lindsay can hear me or not, but it's
I can now.
Interesting to see that the tyre strategy difference. That overcut there, was it communicated between you and Ty there that it was worth doing if you could get the car there, or was it just pure luck in the end?
We weren't talking too much about the actual race itself, to be honest. But I could tell pretty quickly I didn't really have the ultimate pace to keep up with him, especially. So I was just fuel saving behind was it Ferber and Smith, and
yep.
I knew I was really good on fuel. I didn't think I was going to be that good on fuel, and then I almost threw away the second, but then old mate in the Corvette had his own moment after I did, so.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting to see how that played out. You had a spin, he had a spin as well. and it all just sorted itself out. And that was beautiful stuff. Well done to you. And Lindsay, what a drive there from Moses in third place here, the Kobe Marshall. That was cracking stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Kobe, what was your reaction to the whole moment? Dan Smith just kind of spun in front of Ryan, and you picked up the pieces and picked up the podium. What was going through your head throughout that little moment?
Well, as you can imagine, I was very happy, but I knew it wasn't the end of it because there was a lap car right in front of me. So I was just trying not to get killed by either one of them. But yeah, thankfully I was able to get by and holding off until the end of the race. So yeah, very happy with that.
Very good, mate. Your dad in the chat was going nuts. He said it was worth the $10 donation this time. So it looks like you're getting some inheritance back at the end of this one, if you haven't got already. And he's probably out walking the dog while you're sitting here talking to us. So a bit more reward for that. Did you ever expect that you could have the pace to be up there within the top three, or was it just a little bit too hard tonight to manage the pace out of that Ferrari of yours?
Yeah, I was just a bit slow tonight, to be honest. Didn't have the best qualifying, but I mean, I just tried to again be as consistent as I could, and thankfully it paid off. You know, other people made mistakes, and I came through with P3. So yeah, that's how it is.
It's going to help you in the championship, mate, for sure. In the overall standings, you'll bump yourself up a few places. Not a regularly at the moment in finishing up where you normally are. So this should be a quiet breath of fresh air for you for the last round coming our way next Tuesday night. Are you looking forward to that track? Is it going to be one of your strengths, weaknesses, or whatever? What are your thoughts anyway for the final round of the season?
I love Bathurst. You can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong there, Lindsay, can you?
Yeah, absolutely can't. And I've got some better news for you, Kobe. I don't know if you're aware of this yet, but your dad's been in the chat and he said he's bought you a burrito from GYG as a reward once he finishes his interview.
Yes. What a legend. Thanks, Dad. You're a bloody legend, mate.
Hey, love it. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. Lindsay, have you got any more questions for the fine two gentlemen sitting here in Hunter and Kobe Marshall?
I think that's just about covered it here, Zacko. We've asked quite a few questions, or more like you've asked quite a few questions.
Sorry, mate. I'm
not saying that was your fault. I'm saying I'm terrible at doing interviews.
Contributing to the conversation. Maybe Motorsport Australia should get me in to be the interviewer after the racing, and we can commentate alongside each other in the future. That could be the way to go. But Ryan, you're excited for
a quick shout out.
You're excited for Bathurst there, Ryan, yourself. Is it going to be a good hunting ground for you there personally, or?
Yeah, good track, obviously. Usually do quite well there.
Yeah, I reckon you'll do pretty well.
I imagine a lot of people will do quite well here, given the location. So.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting race for sure. Glad you're excited for that. But we're done here. Thank you, gentlemen, for sticking around and having a chat to us. Well done on the second place and the third and the first place getters here tonight. Very, very nice racing, and the parting the seas does happen sometimes to the Marshall household. We're going to call him Moses Marshall from now on for the remainder of the season in Bathurst time. So thank you, gentlemen, for sticking around, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Thank you.
See you then.
No worries at all. Well, Lindsay Muddle, that's us done and done for the evening. 3 nights in a row, 3 on the trot. It's been let's put it this way. It's been exciting, but then at the same time, it's been refreshing between me and you. It's just the bit of fresh air that is sometimes needed here in the comms box with an excellent broadcaster of yourself sitting around here next to me. It just ups the ante a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does. And I mean, it's good to be back. I mean, I hadn't commentated for a good few weeks before we got back into it on Sunday with the Gen 3s, and then it's been non-stop since. So 3 days in a row, and I think we've earned ourselves a little commentary sick day. But then again, there's no WC to worry about either. So I think you've earned yourself a Chris Munro style day off.
I think Chris Munro style he'll host the big bangers on Sunday, and then he can just Tijuana straight off that and go straight into the Gen 3s as well. I will be MIA, sick, gastro, whatever you want on that day, I reckon. So, and you can do the same thing too, Lindsay.
I mean, my plan is, I definitely won't be watching the F1 on the couch. I promise.
No,
I'll be sick. I'll be spewing.
Yeah, I'll be in bed asleep, and I'll have to watch the race the next day and avoid all social media because I don't want to find the outcome and see how long Aston Martin actually lasted in the race, or if they even put the car on the grid at all. But that's yet to find out for the rest of us here tonight. Thank you for everyone out there in YouTube land. Thank you, super chatters in David Marshall and the big as a toxic Mr. Travis Freeman himself. Thank you very much appreciated for that. Ortner out there, Marshall and David. Muck Ping as well said Ferber went on a toilet break. Well, no, he just had to teleport to the pits. Magician was out there as well going for it. He said he got Munro within nutting distance at the end there, Lindsay Muddle. We don't need to elaborate on that sort of behaviour out there in the chat. But everyone else out there, thank you for tuning in. And we look forward to seeing you next time. But it's been a Sensational TV production. Big thank you to our sponsors, Speed Nation, ARD Importing, Simulator Driver Training, and Bilco Pack for supporting us throughout the whole year and our existence here on YouTube for quite a while now. It's heading up there in the old stats department. We're getting right up there. Thank you, Lindsay Muddle, for being here with me for 3 nights in a row. It's been a pleasure to sit alongside you, my young dear friend. Thank you very much. And for us here at Sensational TV, it's good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And until this Sunday coming, ladies and gentlemen, that's the next time we're on. You know what to do. Keep it flat out.
Sensational TV YouTube channel. Don't fucking miss it.